Do not judge me. Make sure they can hear me as well, Will. Thanks. Don't judge me, yo. I look crazy right now. I already told you guys. I look like that brat doll, that meme, that brat doll, that looking crazy ass brat doll. That's me right now. That's gonna be me until the next 48 hours. So I don't need any judgment. All right. All I need you to do is like, comment, repost the space. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. You are now tuned in to Web3 Exposed. Alrighty then. If you are just tuning in, hold on, let me charge this shit up. Hold on. Okay. If you are just tuning in, welcome. Thank you for being here. We go live every single day, 7 o'clock Eastern here on X. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. It's Art Basel week, and I'm officially ready to break my phone. Ubers, Lyfts are retarded. So expensive already, dude. I'm riding the e-bike everywhere, bro. E-bike is going everywhere with me. Oh my god, did I just break this? This is hilarious. You guys, look what just happened. Look what just happened. The mic piece broke in the fucking no fucking way, dude. Anyway, thank you for being here. Welcome in. Big week ahead. We got Beat Basil December 4th and 5th. Shout out to World of Women, Quirkies, Ultra Kingdoms, and amongst more, so many amazing companies and brands that are going to be a part of it. It's going to be a fucking vibe. We have World of Women coming through today to share a little bit about what they have going on. Really excited. Also got a special guest coming through, so stay tuned for that. Just all around good stuff. I'm really excited. If you haven't already, jump into the Exposed Nation community. It's up there at the top. Just click that little button. Get your ass in that motherfucker. You good. In about 15 minutes, when we get to 100 comments, because everybody loves to follow directions. You guys are very much so trained to follow directions, because right now you're going to that purple pill at the very bottom corner. You're clicking it, you're liking it, you're commenting, you're reposting, and you're tagging a friend. Boom! There you go. You might just find $100 in your wallet. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. Also, this is called supporting somebody's business. Okay, this is not a VC backed business, so I really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. But let's jump into it. Thank you for tuning in. If you do want to see the screens, if you do want to look at my beautiful face and Will's beautiful face, as well as the charts, jump into the stream so you can follow along. He's about to jump into the charts in just a second. If you are listening and you do want to request, this is the best time to request. The best time to request is not when you see Drake appear. The best time to request is not when you see, P. Diddy appear. The best time to request is not when you see, Donald Trump appear. The best time to request is right now. Okay? That's the best time to request. It's the best time to request. Anyway, let's get to it. Will, welcome to the show. Happy Monday. Hope you had a good holiday, and excited to jump into it, man. Go ahead. Will, make sure they can hear you on stream, brother. My bad to interrupt. Make sure they can hear you on stream. Yeah, I just saw a comment. Just making sure. All good. If you see it's fine, then it's all good.
Let's see. Give me 1 second.
No, you're good.
Right.
In the meantime, if you're just tuning in, make sure you guys like, comment, repost your space. We got a couple bangers for today. Thank you.
I think we're good now. All right.
Awesome.
So kind of like I was saying, like you're starting to slow the drop. You had this red candle, red candle, red candle, red candle, and now you got a green candle in between a red candle. That's a slowing drop right here. You're starting to balance out. Again, doesn't necessarily mean that you have to bottom here, but also is good indication in a lot of cases when you come into a demand range where you're starting to slow down, you could actually reversal out of that range. You should be able to hear me now. I can definitely see my mic's talking.
Yeah, you're fine. You're solid. You're good.
Okay. Again, just you can see right here, Bitcoin's basically fallen into a demand range, bottomed out in the demand range. 80,000, I think, was pretty much the low, 84. And I think like 80,400. I think a lot of people are just really, wanting this thing to come down, and they're really wanting this thing to pretty much just fall over. But no market tends to end and just go straight down in a straight line. I urge people to really kind of evaluate your thought process when you're thinking that way. You can see right here, you had multiple drops and you get a nice little bounce, multiple drops, and you get a nice huge bounce, right? Huge bounce. And then you get drops again, bounce, bounce, bounce. So you can play these things all the way down. They're not going to just go straight to your target. That's why, like, people are sitting there talking like that. It's like, bro, it's obvious that you're not really trading, or you haven't traded for very long. And typically what you want to see is you want to see the bounce out of this range. You want to see certain ranges flipped. And then once you see those ranges flipped, then you'll kind of, play off of the flip range. Or if you see the rejection, you play at the rejection range and it's going to roll. So for right now, we're kind of fighting that 90K range. We can get above that. We can hit that 100K range. I think the 100K has to be retested based on what I'm kind of seeing here and the massive drop we saw. This is a very similar drop right here, right? That right there reminds me of like this right here for Bitcoin, right? For the 2021 drop. And then this right here kind of reminds me of this right here, which ended up, being a pretty massive run up. If you look at it overall, you basically had like a 42% run up from there. And you kind of saw alts move on that same run up. So even if it ends up being a DCB or a dead cat bounce, as a lot of people like to anticipate it, that should still push us into 100K range. Now, if you can flip the 100K range, you're going to looking pretty good for upside. Again, I would just say, look at your RSI. RSI on weekly nearly bottomed. RSI on monthly playing right into the 50. And then RSI on daily has already bottomed, right? And we've seen it time and time and time again. We've already bottomed, and likely we can play this for a little bit, but I think we're going to see a pretty big bounce out of this range. I don't think we're going to stay in this range for very long.
What was up with that weekend wash?
What do you mean, this sell-off right here?
Yeah.
I mean, it's basically a day, right? They sold it off for an entire day, kind of sold it all the way down, brought it back up, closed it. They'll probably leak down a little bit more, and then they'll kind of play to the upside, in my opinion. This is a higher high structure, too, on the daily. So if you look at it right here, higher low structure. And so if they can swing this, they can swing it into the 100K. This is your next resistance range right here, your next consolidation range. And that same consolidation range plays across the board, right? Plays here, plays here, plays here. So that's really what I think the market's anticipating to go. So I think a lot of shorts are trapped right now, and they're just continuing to bait shorts down here at the low. They keep on pulling the market into the low end range and then trying to get people to open up short positions down here in this demand range, which is really, really dumb. You never want to pull a short into a demand. If you break demand range, you can start looking at shorting, right? But you never want to pull into a demand range, and you're in a demand range. That's exactly what this is right now. Now you could say, oh no, the bottom. No, this right here is a retest of the previous low. The demand range is actually higher. So if you look right here on the weekly, you can see we're basically playing the highs, the weekly highs of the previous consolidation range of March of 25, right? So that's basically the demand range that you're playing on top of. And that's why the market's not really wanting to stay in this lower range. It's wanting to stay up here, and it's not wanting to retest down here. Now, if they continue to hold price above this range, you should see the market start to swing high. And if it swings high, again, you're going to push that 100K, maybe 99, right? Somewhere in there. And if it stays bearish and the market is not able to create more momentum and there's not able to get more bid, you'll likely reject around 100K, flip, come back down. And that's where you can break your demand range. You're not going to break the demand range right now, in my opinion. I think you're going to stay pretty static in this range. And then you're going to kind of swing into your high. And then you'll either reject here and break your demand range later, or you'll end up pushing through this and just continuing to kind of twop like you have been the whole cycle. Just a lot of people tend to forget how this works, right? It's the same drawdown as all previous consolidation ranges. It's basically stopped at the same drawdown as all previous consolidation ranges. And if they get a good enough bounce out of here, they could easily form a higher high structure. Now, it doesn't mean we're going to go into like 250K Bitcoin, 200K Bitcoin, 175K Bitcoin, but it could still push prices into the relative, mid 100s, I think easily if you can get back above 100, but you got to get back above 100. And nobody believed it here, right? Nobody believed it here. I mean, this right here looked like it was about to tank right here. This candle right here on the weekly was an absolutely disgusting sell-off right here. It pushed us all the way down to 31.95. It was low. And this is where everybody kind of panicked and thought we were about to get cooked all the way back down, and we are going to break down to like 30K, right? And then what did the market do? It pushed higher. The problem with MAs too, and tracking a lot of MAs, is people run high time frame MAs. And like I watched people today run MAs and they were calling for 35K. And I'm just like, bro, I'm like, what are you going to do if the market runs back up to 145? Your MA is going to push much higher, and then that's going to be 69K as a floor.
I was wondering where this fucking weird ass title came from. I'm like, what, Will?
So
I see what you're saying now. I get it. You're talking about the people that are bears.
Like super bear. There's people super bared up right now. Like they're talking 30K,
my whole thing, in all
20K.
My years in crypto, I don't understand these wild takes without any like base level, like supply and demand. Like it has to hit certain levels for a while before we can start to, right? Like before we can start to like. You
can't ever say straight down. It's just it's right. A horrible take. Like you can look at any chart, no chart goes straight down. None do. Absolutely zero. And there's always
even
a trap
your favorite
set.
Rug, even your favorite rug. I mean, it'll go straight down eventually, but
yeah, but there's always a trap set. This was your trap right here, right? That was your trap right there. There's always a trap set whenever they're going to really drop price. That's all you got to look for. You just got to look for the trap, and the trap can allow you to exit a lot higher if you didn't exit at the high, right? So like exiting at 100K versus exiting at 80K is a lot better. So I'd wait for the 100K bounce, and then I would take profit if I think it's going to go bearish before I would sell. I wouldn't sell at 80K, which I think a lot of people did. And same thing with alts. Like people say alts are cooked, but I mean, again, I'm still seeing risk run. I mean, the risk I'm in is doing pretty well, right? Not going to pump my own bags and toot my own horn on the.
Yeah, what risk are you in? For the sake of my bags, I want to look at XRP and Monad.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? This one I gave.
No, I'm not gonna lie. When I hear XRPs bugging about the XRP normies bugging about the price of XRP, those are indicators for me that it's time to fucking buy more.
Even Aster and Profits. You remember I charted this shit all the way up here and set out these levels, and we've been playing in these levels the whole time. Like,
can you look at Monad? Do I sell this airdrop here, or are we going back up?
I mean,
asking for a friend.
Rivian looks really good too, though.
Nah, I don't want to hear about Rivian.
Zcash is still looking all right. I mean, this.
I want to hear about Monad.
I mean, what is your interest in Monad though?
I want to know if I should dump these coins or not, because my rent ain't cheap.
I'll just tell you, I wouldn't necessarily be holding Monad.
Whoa! Whoa! Whoa!
It's too new. We've talked about this. Look, we've had these discussions. All right. And when it's a new coin, what data can you pull from something that new?
I don't know. Somebody talked about a pullback in the run.
Bro.
Oh, just fucking around.
Is this the coin right here?
That's the coin, brother. That's the coin. Listen, I need you to be a little kinder to me right now, okay? I'm asking for your analysis, not your emotional
This can't be the coin. This is the wrong coin.
Hold on, let me see. No, that's not it.
It's got too much time on it.
Go to Dex Screener. What the hell you want?
We don't have it on TradingView.
I mean, maybe. I don't know. Maybe. Yeah. Click Bing X. Also, guys, welcome to the show. If you're just tuning in,
they only got perps. That's all they got.
If you are just tuning in, remember to drink some water and remind yourself of how beautiful you are. I want to say hi to everybody on stage. Saul, Scrooge, Melina, Mad Potters. How you guys feeling today? How's it going?
Oh yeah, look at that! Holy shit!
Hey, Prophets. Hey, Will. How you guys doing?
This is Miami. This is Miami Christy I'm speaking to right now. You ready?
No, I'm not ready. Actually, I'm in the middle of packing as I speak. So I will be ready. I'm just not right now.
Say less. I'm excited. It's gonna be a good.
I'm super excited. It's gonna be amazing.
Absolutely. Is it you speaking today on some stuff that I have questions about, or is it the account?
That is me. It'll be me. The account is here for visibility, but I will be speaking
Are you ready
from my own face today.
You better be ready for this.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
No, I do want to talk about, like, this is actually perfect because World of Women is a very much so established IP and brand. And I've heard, only good things, especially more recently with the new takeover and things of that nature. But you guys have an interesting thing you're doing with this new token, and I've been seeing the collabs. You guys are all over my timeline. I really enjoy seeing it. What exactly, if you're able to answer this, I'm not trying to be super difficult, but what exactly was the thought process when you guys launched the coin? Now that we're in this like kind of new era of like NFTs and like Web3.
Okay, I'm going to do my best here. I will, be fully transparent with you guys and say that our COO, Sweet Pea, is really the one you want to be talking to when it comes to the token. The way that she speaks about it, she puts it so eloquently. I'm a little bit more hood, so I'll do the best that I can. So TokenWorks, right? Everybody knows TokenWorks. We love TokenWorks. We love what they do. It's super fucking smart. We had a conversation with Adam over with TW, but we just decided that we couldn't wait. He was rolling out one at a time with the projects very intentionally and super smart of him not to flood the market. And then I think it's next week it's coming out where anybody can do a token as long as you have access to the right things for any project, which is super fucking dope. But again, we felt like the time was a month ago. And so we have the capabilities. We have the most insane tech team, I think, in the space. And we brought this crazy idea to them, and they were like, well, what if we fork it? What if we go off on our own and we fork this contract and we make it work for us in the way that we want it to work for us? And the tech team was like, let's fucking do it. So we did. And, it's flowing. We call it the flow. The way that we built it was that everything that comes out of that 10% tax goes back into the project somehow, some way. Either it's going into the protocol to buy more WOWs, which then we take out and we give them away, or we take them out and we put them into a Dutch auction, which you can use Wowster to buy in the Dutch auction, which then just further burns more tokens, puts more money back into the flow. And then there's just 1% that we have going to a treasury, but that treasury is not profit. It's not going into any of our pockets. The team didn't get any allocation. That 1% is actually going to be reserved to build future products for WOW. So our entire 10% for the token just goes right back into the flow and ultimately to our holders. I think, the past teams have done amazing jobs just building the foundation for a while. But we're in a weird time right now where, and this is, please don't take any offense, and this is why I'm speaking from my own face, but people are fucking greedy these days. And if there's not something in it for them, they really don't give a fuck. They just don't. And so our whole focus now moving forward is how do we bring value back to our holders? We have some real OGs that have been holding since 2021. They minted, they held, they saw 10 ETH floor, and they still didn't sell. And we want to celebrate them. We want to bring value to them and tell them, you didn't miss the boat. There's still more to come. And that's what we're trying to focus on. I hope that answered the question.
Hello, did you? This is why I fuck with Christy, bro. That was fire. Very well said. Very, very well said. She's a pit bull over there. All right, World of Women. Make sure you guys should have followed to the World of Women page. They are proud sponsors. Actually, one of the biggest sponsors at Beat Basil. I'm very grateful for them. You guys are not only gonna have an amazing representation there, but truly a part of history. So thank you so much. Again, very excited to work with you guys.
No, we have to thank you, Prophets, because you just came with the absolute fire, the heat, the full, inclusive package where, for me, I'm not an event manager. We don't have an event manager at the moment. So if anyone out there is looking, send me your resume. community@worldofwomen.xyz. But that's we don't have an event planner. So for Singapore and for Art Basel, we've had our team members, the community and the marketing team kind of band together and pull extra hours to make things work. So the fact that you did all the heavy lifting was really the reason why we were able to do Art Basel. So huge shout out to you, and shout out to let's see, Jillian. Jillian's in the Jillian. Hi, you're a speaker. Say hi.
Hi, I am a speaker, and I'm doubling down on the people don't give a foot. No, let me not. But it was amazing. Honestly, Prophets, thank you, because we would have been running around crazy trying to get all like half of those things done. So we really do appreciate you. We cannot wait to get there tomorrow and start partying immediately with you and
Girl,
getting to know everybody.
I can't
and
wait. I'm not gonna be able to take a sip of alcohol until the last hour of the second night. So I'll party on the 5th at night. But yeah, definitely can't wait to see everybody.
First, I'm offended that you think it would take alcohol for us to have fun.
No,
we're
I hear party. I know what time it is, but you're right. Hey, fair point.
Yeah,
we're gonna
bring
party.
Vibes. Our
Yeah.
vibes are the alcohol. We don't need anything to bring the vibes. That's all I'm saying. And we're bringing the vibes.
That's a fact. You guys such a
Bro.
fire ass team, V. Damn, bro.
When you said the event goes from noon till midnight, I almost fucking fell off my chair and died on the spot. There will be no alcohol at all. I mean, I don't drink anyways, but even if I did, there would be
alcohol, then that's what we're doing.
no alcohol.
Wait,
No
we
way.
have quirky energy drinks. Don't worry, you're gonna be fine. You guys are gonna be fine.
I'm gonna chug them all day long.
All of them. We're gonna be shaking towards the end of the night. It's gonna be great.
Well, no, we have the goat on stage. Can you hear me, V?
V. She has a new mic. She's ready. V.
You're muted.
Can you guys hear me?
Oh, yes, we can hear you. Let's go.
Let's go. I saw you guys on the space and I was like, wait, have they started partying without me already?
The party didn't start till you got here. What do you mean, V?
Yes, that's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear.
World of Women takeover. Let's go.
Oh, we got Sweet Pea in the house too. Man, Sweet Pea, you missed it. They asked me. They asked us about Wowster, and I did my best to channel my inner Sweet Pea and talk about it. I think I did okay, but it wasn't. It wasn't you.
It was as if Sweet Pea was here. It was wild.
I can't wait for this.
You nailed it. You did amazing. I also want to know when Prophets is going to get a job offer, because it sounds to me like you guys were looking for her to maybe take over for your events. Just saying.
No, I gotta perform first. There were too many. Hold on, we can't ask too many things. I gotta perform, and then they gotta approve of what happened. So we can talk about that. But no, I actually I love what you said about, you know, the way you guys are going about the coin. Also too, like in this specific market, it's almost like, you know, if you're gonna create, you're gonna make noise. If you're consistent and actually just do what you say you're gonna do as a brand, I think the price of a coin isn't affecting the community as much anymore. People are realizing that these are just tools and things that we're using for ecosystems, right, of these products, of these companies, of this IP per se. So I think you guys are pretty smart at launching at this time, not when it was such a hype thing, or not when, you know, there's a fucking wild bear market with no volume, because that's obviously not the case either. So excited to see kind of, you know, where it goes, and where can everybody get the coin at the moment?
They have to go to wowster.fun, WOWSTR.fun.
There we go.
That is the only place. That is the only place. I don't know if everybody knows this, so I'm just going to throw it out there. And if you guys do know it, just mute me. But strategy tokens just can't be transferred around like ETH or Bitcoin. They're not the same. There's a lot of technical reasons why. We don't need to get into that right now, but they cannot be transferred around. So you do have to go over to wowster.fun to swap your ETH for Wowster, and then you can go right back over to wowster.fun to swap it back into ETH when you are ready. And that's also why our ACE tech team built a claim site. We just ended our Zeek campaign Saturday. Over the weekend, it just ended. And we're giving away 1% of the supply to the top 50 Zeters. But we had to build a claim site in order for them to be able to get their Wowster. So we did that. And that should be going live in the next 24-ish hours. There's only just a little bit of a delay because we pulled our top 50 in the leaderboard, and not everybody gave their wallet. Guys, we need your fucking wallet. So if you're listening and you are on the Zeek campaign and you have not added your wallet yet, please do so. I'm giving you till the end of today, and then I'm submitting the spreadsheet to our tech team tomorrow morning, because then I have to get on a plane, and then I'll be in Miami, and there's no way I'm doing spreadsheets in Miami. Sorry,
Facts.
Sweet Pea. Sorry,
Big
Sweet Pea,
facts.
please don't fire me.
Wait. I just have to check here, Profits, if you don't mind. Did Christy just drop an F-bomb? That's what I want to know. We're going to start. Yeah. Okay, there we go. Thank you. That's proper gratuity for what she did.
That's why I'm speaking from my face today, Sweet Pea, because the F-bombs are just getting me ready for Miami. I'm fucking hyped.
I will say that if you're counting them and it has anything to do with her job, she said not one F-bomb. If it's fine that she said it, there were multiple in the space before you got here.
I was a little confused at the question as well. So whatever Jillian just said, I co-sign that. But I do want to mention that anybody that is going to win that giveaway is going to be here at Art Basel week, ready to back that ass up with those winnings. So you heard what she said. Submit those wallets so you can have a chance. Hey! Awesome. Amazing. Splendid.
If I can piggyback real quick, I want to give the women of WoW, I want to give you guys a compliment, because I don't know if you were tuned in or not, and who was there. I think a few of you may have been on Loki's Space Sunday, but I just want to pay a compliment to what you guys did do with engineering your token, because the biggest brick in the wall right now with anything token worth is that you cannot trade. You cannot do anything other than sell your tokens at a 10% loss. And myself and another artist within our Good Vibes Club community had been discussing a commissioned piece that they were doing for me for the first time. And they flat out were like, hey, if you want, pay me in Vibester. I was like, that'd be great. I have a lot of it. Guess what we can't do? That. And I was infuriated, because it was the first time I actually realized, after I bought such a sizable bag, that I could not actually transfer it. So I just want to say thank you. I love that you guys did that. I love that that was a part of the reason why you chose not to go with the masses. And I hope that people will listen and take note, because it is actually very frustrating to a lot of community members. And I'm hearing it more and more about these tokens and the lack thereof of what you can actually do with them. So I'm just really hoping to see some changes with whatever's coming out tomorrow.
Thank you so much.
Bullets
Thank
on the
you.
text.
Yeah.
Sorry, Chrissy.
No, good. You're good. You're good. Thank you, Shells, for that shout out. I mean, I think that's one of our biggest, wins in our corner is that we can now change our contract if we want to. We can upgrade it. We can move things around. Whatever is coming down the pipeline, which I definitely can't talk about, we can integrate Wowster as we see fit. And I think that was the biggest reason why we decided, you know what, let's build it ourselves, because then we have the flexibility that, TokenWorks doesn't necessarily have. Maybe Sweet Pea, you have some more to add to why.
Sure. I'm afraid I get a little too technical sometimes, though. But I think the key here is flexibility, right? And it's that you want to honor the original structure of the contract, which was the whole point in the first place. Why can't you trade these someplace else? Well, the reason is because we want to make sure that the tax is enforceable, and the tax is the key to the flywheel, right? Tax doesn't sound sexy, but what it does for the protocol is what we're all excited about. And I'm talking about TokenWorks. Like this is such a cool innovation. What Adam did is cool. Okay, make no mistake, which is exactly why we forked it, because it's cool. And we should try this. And now what we want is a little bit of flexibility, and we want to make sure we can do more. And it does take some technical work to be able to write how you can whitelist wallet addresses, or how you can make sure that you can transfer tokens. So we're doing things little by little based on what our roadmap is for Wowster, to ensure that we can do some cool things with it and that you guys don't have a hard time using it, and that we can get it back into the flywheel, which again, it's so we can do more. We have really focused on making this community oriented, making sure that it's a mechanism for giving back. And that was our thesis and our test. And so far, it's pretty cool. I mean, we have done some neat things in the last few weeks, and now people can claim Wowster on the end of the Zeek campaign. So I hope that's enough of an explanation without me having to call one of the devs up here. Dev help.
No, it was well said.
No.
No, I appreciate that.
Perfect, Sweet Pea. As always, you are absolutely perfect.
Will, while you have these charts up and all these beautiful colors you got going on here, how much longer do I have to wait for Bitcoin to actually hit $150,000?
Say tomorrow. Say
I
tomorrow.
was going to say, if you don't like the price profits, wait 5 minutes. It's like living in a place with bad weather. If you don't like it, just wait 5 minutes. You're going to get some sunshine, and and then you might have a storm again. But this is what we do and what we go through. I think we can count on a nice future for Bitcoin.
I think Twitter is more like, if you get a few raindrops, everybody's talking about the next tsunami, even though you're in the middle of the country. So that's the way I look at it with Twitter.
I dubbed yesterday as the big cleanse.
So many people panic on this app. It's not even funny. Like people aren't even looking at levels. They're just like, oh, it sold off for 4K in a day, so time to freak out now, not before it sold off for 4K in a day. It's time to short the market after it dropped 4K in a day. Yeah, I always find it interesting. I think, like, as much as we tend to love to feed people hopium, right now, I would say it's kind of a sit and wait. Let the market kind of settle out a little bit here. I think you can get out a lot higher than where we are now. So if you think there's a bear market coming, I think you can get out decently higher than where we are right now. Like we're sitting at 86. Again, I'm looking for a retest of 100K. So if you're scared, that would be your place to kind of TP. If you think we can flip that range, which, if we hold this range and ideally get back up to 100K, it's likely we could flip that range. And then we could see higher prices at that point. But I think, like, if you get anywhere near like 130, 140, 150, it's probably a good time to take some money off the table and set it aside and wait for some kind of market correction or whatever. But I think right now it's just kind of a sit and wait game. It's not the place to really be selling or shorting. I think you're in a demand range. That's really not the best place to be trying to look to. And when I say demand, just so people know, demand is support, right? For those in the audience who may not know what demand is. So you have like support ranges, which are typically where previous buyers were interested in Bitcoin, right? And what you'll see in those demand ranges, you'll see consolidation. So you'll see a lot of candles fighting up and down in a range after a drop. And that's what creates a demand range. And then you get a breakout from that demand range, and the market maker marks up as high as they think there's a bid. And then once they see there's no more bid, they start to distribute, and they pull back down to demand range, and they see if there's demand still in that range. And if there's still demand there, then they'll push prices higher, because likely if you can catch demand in the previous demand range zone, you can push prices even higher than the previous high. And that's what they've been doing. They've done this since basically phase 1, and then phase 2, and then phase 3, and they can do it again if they want to too, if they can find the bids here in the demand range. And so far, we have found them. Otherwise, we would have collapsed straight through this demand range, but we stopped right at the demand range. So I would say just kind of sit back, let the market kind of settle out. Don't let people like psych you out in your head and freak you out, telling you the next collapse is coming. Because like I've had this discussion with many people, and I'll say this because I'm talking too much. But if somebody can logically come up to you and give you a reasonable reason for the next collapse, then it's worth entertaining. But I haven't heard anybody bring up a single reason. Not banks going under, not some kind of debt, not the M2 money supply, not global liquidity. Like 2022, there was every excuse in the world, right? You had banks collapsing, you had higher interest rates that were only going to get higher, and so on and so forth. You had a lot of bear catalysts that should have told you like a bear is coming. And we're sitting here in 2025 with no real catalyst except saying it's just going to happen. And that's where I can't really get on board at the moment, because when you look at the chart as far as the indicators, and you look at the current drop that we've had and the previous drops, it's like it might be here, it might not be. And let's wait till the retest, and we'll see where we're at there, and we'll kind of evaluate it from that point. So it's more of like this is more of a game of chess, and everybody plays it like checkers on Twitter. It's a patience game. You got to kind of wait out your opponent. It's not a hurry or a rush.
Well, I think you said something really interesting way back in the beginning. The whole thing was interesting. But what I want to kind of go back to is we say when quite a bit when we should actually maybe be exploring why. And I think in our space, while it is a meme and, it's fun to talk about, gosh, when will this change? Like I got myself into a position and now I don't have my exit strategy in place. And I think the thing is we tend to think we have a long view when in fact we don't. And I think that the important thing that we can say here is we can have a strategy to take some off the table. And we can have a strategy to reinvest that money and make that money grow. If you're top lasting and selling at the bottom, you are basically never going to do better than if you had just plowed your money in a 401k. You'll take your average 7 to 9% over time because you probably lost quite a bit of money. If you have a really long view, you can lock in for a long time. That also means you're not making necessarily a lot of big moves with something that has a high risk profile, and you can hold it for a while. In other words, let's say you sold your Bitcoin early on to make some other moves. You probably regret that a little bit right now. But when we can hold for a long time, that's a really tough thing to do. So if we don't want to do that, then we need a good plan. And if we don't have a good plan about at what point, if X happens, what will I do? If Y happens, what will I do? What am I taking off the table? So I love to hear everyone's thesis around what they would do in certain scenarios. And I love to think about what is a good plan so that we're not just throwing the money away. Because it's easy to run around like a chicken with your head cut off, chasing everything that glitters. But what's more important is, can you stay the course? I mean, there are many people who could argue if you had never sold any of your Bitcoin or ETH in the last even few years, you would be in a different position than all the zigging and zagging along the way.